everyone, it's Emily. This video is going to be my current foundation routine, what I am doing to get my as close to flawless foundation as I can get, what my skin is best with right now, and if you want to see how I was able to achieve this look, then just keep on watching. Alright guys, so the first thing I'm going to do to get my flawless complexion is prime my face using the Arbonne Makeup Primer. Looks like this. And I'm going to take, well, first off, you don't need a lot of this to get a really good look. So I'm just going to apply about half of a pump. And that seems to be plenty for my face. So that's just what I'm doing. Less is more. So I'm going to take it and start rubbing it in. Really concentrating on my T-zone, as that's where I get oily and my foundation tends to break apart on my T-zone. And then whatever I have left I will bring onto my cheeks. And I really do like the Arbonne line. It's one of the like network marketing type of brands, like a Mary Kay or an Avon, but it's all natural, botanical base. It's vegan and good for your skin. So I'm trying to get more into healthy products that are less prone to cause cancer and any more wrinkles or anything like that. And I know that this doesn't have any extra chemicals in it. It's just natural and good for my skin, and I've really been enjoying it. I went into it thinking that I wasn't going to like it and that it wasn't going to meet the standards that I have for foundation. It's really hard for me to find a foundation that I really like and that I get good results from, and I do really like it, and it's really great. So if it's working for me, I'm going to stick with it, especially since it's good for my skin. So here is the matching foundation. It's the Arbonne Perfecting Liquid Foundation, SPF 15, and mine is in the color Fair. Just looks like this, and what I'm going to do is pump out about a full pump of it, and it's really liquidy, which I kind of was freaked out about at first because I'm not used to wearing thin foundation. I'm used to wearing complete full coverage and thicker, creamy foundation, and this is not at all. I'm using the Real Techniques by Samantha Chapman. This is the Expert Face Brush, and I really like this. So I'm going to start just by rubbing it in circular motions. Just really getting it all blended in. And I really think that this foundation is best with a brush. It's a really thin, sorry, I'm using a little compact. It's a really thin formula and it blends nicely. I've also used it with my fingers when I'm in a hurry, and it works just as well then too, but I prefer it with a brush, and I just like this brush. So it blends really evenly, and it gives a medium coverage, I'd have to say. I still use a concealer where I have any blemishes or any pigmentations or sunspots or scarring. Go for my eyelids a little bit. And I think that's good, right? Then whatever I have left on the brush, I just bring it down into my neck, like so. Blend it into my ears, because that's a pet peeve of mine. And into the hairline one more time. Alright, so this is the coverage with the foundation. I think it's really good. I think that it definitely does a good job of concealing any of the red marks that I have. But of course, since I have them and I see them, I'm going to conceal them using the Revlon Photo Ready Concealer in Light. And of course they stuck the sticker right over the label. Love when they do that. So I'm gonna just rub my ring finger on this just to warm it up a little bit. And then I'm going to put this in, in the places where I think I need it the most. Get a little bit more. I love this concealer. I think this stuff is amazing. The blendability of this stuff is great. It just glides into your skin perfectly, and the coverage lasts all day. I noticed that if I put this on, sometimes I use this in place of a foundation just around my nose, on my chin, just the places where I know I need it the most, and it does a really great job. It holds up nicely, it doesn't get creasy or cakey or anything, it just really looks nice. And I have quite, what is this? Gross. I'm breaking out pretty good right now. My skin was looking awesome for a little bit, and all of a sudden it's getting a little crazy. It's not bad. It's not where it used to be, so I can't complain too much, but it's not as perfect as it was. Making me sad. I think it's time for me to switch up my skincare routine a little bit. I've been using the same products for a while and it's not wowing me at all, so be prepared to see a video in the upcoming future about my skincare because I need to find something new. And then now that's done, I'm going to take my Garnier Skin Renew Anti-Dark Circle. And I don't really have horrible dark circles, but I sure see them. So I'm going to take a little bit of that. Take my ring fingers and just start to dab this in. And I bring it all the way up to my lower lash line just to cancel out any redness, any imperfections that my skin has. Just like so. And I see a huge difference. I'm not sure if you can on camera, but it makes a big difference. And now I forgot something, so I'm gonna go get that and I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I forgot my Mecier Secret Brightening Powder. This stuff is definitely a staple in my collection. I don't know if I will ever not have this stuff in my life. So I'm sure you've seen this 1.5 million times. It's great stuff. It's a very fine milled white powder. I'm just going to take what's on the cap with this crown brush. My nose is itchy. With this crown brush, I don't know what it is. It's just a really fluffy, nice brush. So I'm just going to dab it in here a little bit and just sweep this under my eye just to kind of cover where I put the Garnier. Same with the other eye. And I just use a little bit. I don't use much at all. And I think it does a great job. I really, really like it. Yeah, if you haven't tried it, I would really suggest you pick it up. It really does prevent any of the fine creases that I do tend to get under my eyes. And same with the Garnier. This doesn't tend to build up as much on my fine lines like the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. I like that stuff, but I definitely do notice that I get little creases and I don't want to look older than what I am, and I think that it kind of makes me look old when I get little, my lines just get more noticeable and I don't like it. That's that. And then to set everything in place, I'm going to be using my CoverGirl True Blend Pressed Powder in the color Translucent Light. Looks like this. I'm going to be using a big fluffy brush. Just get a little bit in here and then just start putting it all over my face. I picked this up on the recommendation of Makeup by Tiffany D, and she said that this was a close dupe to the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, and I've tried that and I've really enjoyed it, and I don't think it's a dupe necessarily. It doesn't give coverage like the MAC does, but it definitely has similar qualities to it. I think that it is lightweight and it's really blendable and easy to work with like the MAC is, and it does have a really good staying power. So that is that. I like this a lot. So I should probably stop saying I'd recommend it, because obviously I would recommend it if I'm using it. Yeah, so now step that I tornado trail. I was like, what is that? I always use a bronzer, especially in the winter time where I'm looking pretty pale, pretty gross. My favorite right now is the Wet n Wild Color Icon bronzer in Ticket to Brazil. Looks like this. It looks a little bit more red on camera than it does on my face. I like it. And then I'm going to be using my Eco Tools big fluffy complexion brush. Just get a little bit on here and then just lightly start brushing it on. This stuff has a lot of pigment, so really a little bit goes a long way. Really sorry if you can hear that obnoxious siren. It's annoying me. Hope you can't hear it. Though I'm sure you can. Bring it onto my neck. And I think that makes a big difference to my face. And my lighting definitely washes me out, so I'm not sure if you can even tell that I put some bronzer on. I hope you can. And then I'm going to contour with the same bronzer with just a angled fluffy-ish brush. I'm just going to get a little bit on here, as the stuff really is pigmented and I don't want it to be obvious that I'm contouring. I like this bronzer so much because it is so powerful. You really don't need a lot to go a long way, but at the same point you can look a little fake. It can kind of show sometimes. You gotta have a really light hand. I'm just going to blend this in. And my hair is still wet, so it's like all up in my face right now. Probably should have pulled it up, but I didn't. Alright, so that is my contouring. I think it definitely makes a big difference to my face. I think it makes it a little bit more angled, a little bit more defined. I don't really have the most prominent cheekbones, so I feel that I kind of have to work with it a little bit to make them a little more noticeable. And then usually I don't put blush on until after my eye makeup, but I've been using the same blush with every eye look for the past, I don't know, month. So I'm just going to do it because, hey, it's a part of my foundation, really. And it is the Wet n Wild Pearlescent Pink Color Icon. It's just this really gorgeous, corally, peachy pink with a little bit of gold shimmer in it. I've heard that this is a dupe for NARS Orgasm. I haven't tried NARS, so I'm not sure if that's true. But I like it, so hey, that is cool. And this is a blush brush that I got from Target. It's just a no-name brand, and it works really well though. It's a little bit more stiff than I typically go for. It's good though, but just take any blush brush that you have and I just stamp it in there, knock any off, and then start at my cheekbone and then work my way towards the apples of my cheeks. Just like that. And this really isn't a super noticeable blush. It's not a nice pop of pink or anything. I think it just gives you a more natural, oops, my bad. Just gives you more of a natural look, which is what I'm going for, especially in the winter time. I think this just gives a nice healthy glow to my skin. So it's really great. And it's such an affordable blush. I think it's like $3. So it's definitely up my alley. And I love how it just brightens up my entire face. And then the last step of my foundation routine is a highlighter that I always use. Even if I'm not doing a whole lot, if I'm just concealing up some bad spots and then powdering and then I'm done, I always use a highlighter. It makes such a difference in my face. And this is the Balm's LouManizer, and obsessed, quite frankly. I'm going to be putting this on with the e.l.f. Studio Line blush brush. This thing to me is way too small to be a blush brush, so I use it as a highlighter, and I just take this, just kind of get a little bit on there and put it just along my cheekbones, the tops of my cheekbones. And I bring it onto my cheek a little bit and up, so it makes a nice C shape, just like so. And I'm sure you can tell it is such a pretty highlight shade. Really makes a big difference. And then the same on the other side. And that is that. This is what I do every day. It's just what works well for me. It's what I like for my skin. I think it makes a huge difference, really. My skin is not perfect. It has a lot of problems, but I think the before and after is huge. And it's not a lot of products, and they're all readily available, and they're great stuff, and I would highly recommend all of it. Yeah, so if you have any questions about any of these products or where I picked anything up, let me know. I would be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. I know that I'm always able to communicate with you guys easily. So I hope you are all doing well, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye!